match, but it had just been changed from an hour ago. And then we go an hour later, when we're at about 11 o'clock Eastern time, and Batista shows up, and it changes for the third time. So last night just seemed like a night of just all changes. And, I mean, creative's been a mess. I mean, they were writing WrestleMania over the weekend on Friday and Saturday, you know, and you're 2 days before WrestleMania, and you don't have match outcomes planned. You don't have this is WrestleMania, and 2 days before the show, you're editing the match order, the match lineups, the match finishes, 2 days before your biggest pay-per-view of the year. It just seems like creative is just an absolute mess. And you know, it may not all be creative. I mean, Vince is a guy where, you know, it was funny because they did a backstage segment on Raw last night where Triple H says, what did he say? You are the most, what's the word I'm looking for? Once he gets his mind set on something, you can't change his mind. I can't remember the exact words from the promo, but something along those lines. You know what I mean? And it's true. I mean, creative will submit ideas, or creative will submit these ideas that they feel will suit Vince. You know what I mean? They want to impress Vince. They want Vince to see the script, like what he sees, and not change anything, and it never happens. And then just to have creative, I mean, just in an absolute mess, right? And I know it's not all their fault, you know what I mean? But you would think a few days before WrestleMania, and you don't have your match order, and you don't have your planned finishes before the main show of the year. I mean, this is the show that you build around all year long. And then you're still writing stuff on Saturday and Sunday as well.
It's interesting. It's interesting how they lay out in the process. I mean, it's definitely known that the timing and the way that they constructed WrestleMania was kind of loose in so many ends. And the same thing like yesterday. It's funny because it's almost like a shoot on the current situation when it comes to creative on how many times a match change within the 2-hour program, you know.
Oh,
so
it's crazy!
It's amazing. You kind of laugh at it and say, "Wow, yeah, that kind of explains it all right there."
Yeah, but they used to have stuff written out. I mean, it never used to be this bad. I mean, things are always changing in WWE, but as of recently, I mean, even WrestleMania and Monday Night Raw, things are constantly changing these days, where people have absolutely no idea from week to week, you know, what's going to happen. I mean, these guys get a rough draft. Some of the creative writers do stuff through emails, and they don't even have to go to TV, but they'll get a rough draft on a Thursday or a Friday. You know what I mean? If you guys saw the leaked script that came out a couple weeks back, they get a rough draft, something along those lines, that comes out on Thursday and Friday, and there are times when they go to Monday's TV, and there's almost a completely different script. You know what I mean? And it's absolutely crazy that they're just rewriting so much stuff. Nothing seems planned out weeks in advance like it used to be. You know what I mean? And
it's almost like they're challenging themselves. I mean, there's no WCW, since, you know, WCW created their own direction. There's not a real big competitor out there for McMahon to kind of go against. Right now, He's really simply going against himself. And it's a challenging time, and I certainly would not want to be in that creative room with Vince walking around. You know, the reality is, you know, how you also question is how long can he do it? You know, what's going to happen when Vince decides to step aside? Is that going to be in 5 years? Is that going to be in 4 years? So,
Vince, I'll tell you right now, Vince won't step aside until the day he dies. Not until the day he dies.
Until he is not powered confined into a bed and can't move, that is the day that he'll stop working.
Vince will show up in a wheelchair, 75, 80 years old, and will still want full control of that show. I mean, Vince is just, he's going to be the main guy until he dies, until he is done, or unless he's in a hospital bed or something like that, like he said, you know what I mean? Vince is going to be there, you know what I mean? And, of course, once he goes, Triple H and Stephanie will be the main two in charge, and I don't know. I don't know. They know what Vince wants. You know what I mean? Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, if anyone knows what Vince wants, they know. So they're going to write around Even when Vince isn't there, they're going to write to see what Vince wants. You know what I mean? When he dies, obviously. I don't want to fuck up his sign or anything like that, but you know what I mean? They're going to be the two guys, or the two people that are in charge.
They're the next to step up, in other words, in the McMahon WWE empire. You know, Linda will continue doing her PR work, and you know the face, the executive corporate face of WWE, including her recent part of board member of the Board of Education for the state of Connecticut. So it's interesting.
What was up with that, man? I don't know much about the Board of Education or anything like that, or how that works. But
it's a committee for the board in the state of Connecticut.
She had major issues. You know what I mean? I remember when I was back in high school, right? I would have a friend's father who was on the school board or something like that. You know what I mean? It was just random people throughout the committee or throughout the community that were on the committee. You know what I mean? For a school board, and it seemed like she had to go through courts and
yeah. Well, I mean, it's for the state of Connecticut, so it's not like a local school around the area that's parent teachers meeting and stuff. I mean, she is now a board member
all right.
of all like executive decisions when it comes to education in the state of Connecticut.
Okay, all right.
I think there's only 5 chairs for that specific group of education, and she's now one of.
And then
there's a lot of Republicans coming up and stating, hey, the Empire of Wrestling, it's bad message for kids, but I mean, reality is the majority, of course, ruled that she can go ahead and give the position. So it's another reason why I think the WWE decided to kind of take that PG approach.
Yeah, I gotcha. All right, so, I don't have anything planned. It's been so busy around here, I didn't put together a show file. I don't have anything, man. I got a brief Raw cap.
That's how we do it, though. That's how we do it. It's live. It's Raw. We cut through and we say what we got to say.
It's live, baby, live.
There you go. Yes, that's your cue.
Hey.
Right on cue. Gotta like it.
All right, so we're just gonna basically, excuse my language, we're gonna shoot the shit here for the next hour and a half, a little bit over that, and we'll take your live phone calls either. Let me do some plugs real quick, and then I guess we'll get into Monday Night Raw. If you guys want to hear our WrestleMania show, like I said, it's up on the website WZROnline.com. Over on the right-hand side, find the link for the April 6th WZR Radio show. It should be up there. We put it up last night. So if you missed that, we talked about WrestleMania. We did it for about an hour and a half last night, and we got it archived. So make sure you check out that. As far as the draft show is concerned, I haven't talked to you about this yet, Jose, but I wanted to wait until next week, and if we were to wait until next week to do that, because the draft show is usually a 2-hour show in general, you know what I mean? But if we were to wait until next week to do that, we would have to do it on Monday night prior to Raw. I don't know how you feel about that. I would rather do it then. I would rather do a double show. I know we did a double show this week, but it's WrestleMania, it's the draft. So, we could hype something up. I know I'm coming at you live right now. I hate to do that, man, but maybe, I know.
So you people know this is the first time he's asking me live on the air. No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure.
Well, dear Ryan, I don't know.
You asked, brother. This guy, let me tell you, Jose says to me, just sent me a message. He says, are we doing a draft show tomorrow? So I said, all right, I'll address it right now live on the air. So let me ask you, Jose, next Monday night, what do you think about a WWE draft special? Special show next Monday.
I'm down.
Don't let the people down, Jose.
No, I'm down. I'm good. I'm in this. I am completely down. Consider the fact, I got my little choices here and stuff because I didn't know if we were going to touch base in that or not. But I got my homework here, so it allows me to do a little bit more homework. So next Monday, I'm in.
Let's do it. Let's set it up right now. Live. Next Monday night, we are going to do a WWE draft special. I'm going to plug it on the websites throughout the week. What do you say, 7 o'clock? You want to go on normal time, 7 to whatever. We'll do maybe 7 to 8:30, something like that, maybe an hour and a half.
Something like yesterday, yep.
All right, we'll do the same thing we did yesterday, but this time we'll plug it up. I won't give you guys 2 hours notice that we're going to do a show. So you guys are hearing about it this week. We're going to do a WWE
Monday, the special WZR draft.
There you go, buddy.
7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Only
oh,
on
yeah, no, we can't do that.
WZR
We can't do that.
Radio.
We can't do that. We can't do that. We have to start earlier. Raw
yeah,
is
that's right. Raw is at 8. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's at 8. You see the people in the chat. They're right. See what happens when you're on a live radio show and you forget stuff. So Raw's at 8. So how about 6? 6 to is that too early?
I'm fine. What do you guys think? You guys are in the chat room, of course.